This is a quick update in case you missed it on the Gene Hackman and his wife Betsy Arakawa on the investigation, which was completed by the Santa Fe, New Mexico Police Department and Medical Examiner's Office. I do have the link in the description box if you just want to see everything from the beginning, but I'm just going to touch the key points of what we all really wanted to know. It also contained, whoever else was involved in the case. But again, the link will be in the description box. So I had jokingly said, due to the age difference of Gene and his wife, they're like 30 plus years. I said he probably came in and, found Betsy, deceased and was like, no, this cannot be right, and grabbed his heart and passed away. Now that was just me speculating, but I was somewhat kind of right with what I said. Again, he is 30 plus older than her, and Betsy's supposed to be a little bit more healthier. She's 65. He's 94. So she was not only his wife, but she was his caretaker in the end as well. So we also felt that the scene of this couple, the way they were left behind, it seems like it was staged, like something just wasn't right with them both being on the floor in separate rooms, pills scattered about Betsy, a dog locked in a crate, deceased, and other dogs roaming around healthy. Something just wasn't right. Okay, so on February 26, 2025, when the maintenance worker arrived, and I played that clip of how he spoke to the 911 operator trying to get help for both of these people who were laying on the floor. Now, we all heard that the door was wide open, but remember the maintenance worker, when he got there, he said it was closed. He couldn't get in, and he was going to wait down at the gate to let authorities in whenever they arrived. So, when they got in there, they saw the scene that I just described. So later we would find out that there was no toxins in the air because we was thinking that they passed away from carbon monoxide, but it was none. It was none, so that was ruled out, and then they deemed it suspicious. So we were pointing the finger at the daughters because, they were coming out that nasty-ass restaurant, and they were laughing and smiling, and due to the nature of the scene, like, why are you guys laughing and smiling? And yeah, we know people grieve in different ways, and there's not a moment, and I was just talking about this too, there's not a moment where you're consistently grieving. There is a moment where you reflect. They could have been reflecting on the fact of funny things that their father did, even Betsy, and that gave them a moment to smile and laugh. Or they could have been like, why the hell am I in this nasty restaurant? And they smiled and laughed. Who knows why they were smiling and laughing? But that was caught on camera, and us looking at it, we ain't like it. And we know how people are when you have a wealthy person and the siblings, the children are fighting and trying to get money. So a bunch of us speculated, and unfortunately, some will continue to speculate, but you could do whatever you like. Gene's pacemaker, it stopped activity between February 17th and 18th, so his life probably ended there. Before we'd hear about the findings, it was stated that the couple was there between 9 days to weeks, both showing signs of decomposition, with Betty decomposing more than Gene. So they spoke about pretty much Betsy's timeline because she was the one that was out running errands. On February 9th, there was various things that Betsy did. She picked up Xena from the vet and, obviously put her in a crate to keep her away from the other dogs because Xena was healing. On February 11th, she emailed at about 1 o'clock in the morning her masseuse. She was at a CVS later on that day around 4. Then she went to a pet store, and around 5 o'clock, she's leaving this pet store. Then she accesses the gate on their property a little bit after 5, and that's all on February 11th. And then there's no more activity from Betsy on February 11th, and they believe that is when she passed away. So we did not know, or at least it wasn't public information that I came across, that Gene also had Alzheimer's. So I had to put this in my own words to clear my mind about everything. I believe that, yes, Betsy did pass away first based on the way she was decomposing also faster. We thought that the heat, the little heater in the bathroom had a lot to do with it, and it might have, but she was decomposing way faster than Jean. So more than likely she passed away first, and she was on the floor with the pills. Who knows if she was trying to take them and whatever. We don't really know exactly, but she was on the ground. Later on, Jean probably came in to check on her, seeing her deceased, but he has Alzheimer's, and I've worked with many Alzheimer's patients. We don't know if it's connecting. I'm not sure it connected at that moment that she was actually dead on this floor, because he was there at least 6 days to 7 days. He was still in that house. They said he wasn't dehydrated, but there was no food at that point in his system. Now remember, Betsy's also his caretaker. She cooks for him. She does everything for him. So he was maybe wandering about. I believe he got a minute of clarity, and that's when he got his sunglasses, got his cane, got his coat, and he was going to head out to try to get help for his wife. And that's when, he opened up the door. Maybe he went back because he said, let me get these keys, or maybe let me walk over to the neighbors. He was trying to, I think, get help for his wife, and he fell. Now, they said there was no bruising on him. He fell. And maybe he suffered a heart attack then, and that's how he lost his life. So it's a tragic situation, yes, that it had to end like this. And the fact that, due to the age, she was not supposed to die first due to the age. And they diagnosed Betsy with Hunter virus pulmonary syndrome. It's a rare but potential fatal disease that starts with flu-like symptoms. It's carried by rodents and deer mice in North America. If you touch something contaminated, object, surface, inhaling air, that the rodents were around, urinating on, saliva, or even being bitten by one, you can get this Hunter virus. And it starts off with fever, fatigue, muscle aches, headaches, difficulty breathing. And this is what Betsy had. So she probably may have been at the CVS trying to get her prescription for that, or even prescriptions for her husband. Who knows? But she was taking care of business, early to mid-evening. And she ultimately died sometime on February 11th. And Gene on February 17th. So he was in the house with his wife's dead body for some days. The only thing that I hate, because I do believe this is how it ended, the only thing that I don't like is the fact that the children, they were not checking on their dad. I don't know their relationship with Betsy. I don't know if they cared about her, if they liked her. I don't know. She'd been in the family for 30 plus years. But some people can hold grudges for a very long time. And they figured, oh, Betsy got it. Betsy's not that old. She got it. She's taking care of dad. But you see, she wasn't taking care of dad because she couldn't. So that's the only thing I fault them, is that they didn't check on their father. It was weeks. They hadn't checked on their father at all to see how he was. No one was checking on him and just assuming that Betsy had it, and she didn't. And I'm glad he had Alzheimer's, to where he didn't really know what was going on, to a point. And hopefully he just, passed away without suffering as much. I hate it for them. I hate it for them so much. But that's how it is. So rest in peace, Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa. Rest in peace.